We talked about TNA earlier in the show and Impact Wrestling, and the sort of they had their real glory period. And I think Ring of Honor has also had a lot of those. You know, it was particularly hot when it was that underground promotion because you had so, like, you talk about work rate. ROH was the work rate place. And then you look to a couple of years ago, and they sold out Madison Square Garden because of, you know, they had the Young Bucks and they had the Elite and you know, Kenny Omega and the relationship with New Japan, which they're now starting to get back. But I just, you look at the list of champions they've had, and it is just a who's who of like who the top stars in the business are at the moment. So, like, do you have any particular favorites from the ROH back catalog?
Bryan Danielson, please.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to go back and watch a couple of his matches, like against Nigel McGuinness, against Samoa Joe, and they're just so good. Yeah, I like you say, yeah, it comes in waves, doesn't it? Like ROH is currently, I'd say it's out of its kind of peak right now. But you know, I think the last one obviously was that kind of, you know, Jay Lethal, Adam Cole into Cody, and then suddenly when Cody and Young Bucks left, that seemed like a kind of a big stop
Mm.
for ROH. You know, obviously, like all wrestling is kind of cyclical, and I'm sure that Ring of Honor will be back. But yeah, no, I've got to. Speaking of, shout out Jay Lethal, just for kind of like personal reasons as well, because the first ever show that we did for WCPW featured a Ring of Honor title defense with none other than Jay Lethal, and it was like the best match on the card. We talk about it in our Patreon review of it, but it's, yeah, like having him kind of be so gracious as to come in and put on a 20-minute clinic with Noam Dar, and then going out for a beer with him afterwards. Like, I think it's very difficult for Jay Lethal to not be a personal favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna echo you with Brian Danielson. Like, it's just the work he was doing as the American Dragon was just absolutely superb. Like, that was, you know, the time when he went over to WWE and he was just sort of like the job guy of NXT in that sort of that weird first season of the show they did when it was a reality show.
Where's your personality? It's just like
Yeah,
he'll
right.
he'll kick your head off.
That's his personality. And they totally did it to workers with The Miz was his mentor. The Miz is going to teach Brian Danielson how to wrestle. But it totally worked because I was one of those people that were just like, WWE don't know what they're doing. You know, me and Brian Alvarez were just so mad at WWE for doing this. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, but seriously though, guys, like, stop having Michael Cole call him a nerd because because YouTube likes him.
So don't worry, guys. He's going to be fine. He's on the main roster now. Huge Nexus angle. Oh, he's fired. Oh.
So yeah, so love Brian Danielson's work. Samoa Joe as champion as well. The real summer of punk that we got. Like, it's
Yeah, the
just
CM Punk, the promo about the snake. Oh, so good. Tyler Black, remember him? You know, like
yeah.
they've had some phenomenal champions have Ring of Honor. I actually, to my shame, I haven't seen a Roosh match yet.
Hmm.
I know he's obviously the current champ, but I haven't had time to kind of seek one out.
Yeah.
Like anything you recommend?
I'm actually in a similar boat to you, where I'm not really on sort of like an ROH train at the moment. Like, I really enjoyed the stuff they were doing with PCO, but it's like I mean, this year in particular, because it's just been such a weird year for wrestling,
Mm.
that I honestly thought that when we got into this pandemic, I'd have loads of free time to kind of catch up on some wrestling that I've missed. Turns out there's actually still loads of it, and I haven't got time to watch it all.
Yeah, it's essential. You understand? But you know,
Fortunately, it is.
yes, thank you, wrestling. So yeah, I remember just going back and Adam Cole is a really kind of fantastic champ. I think he was the first two-time champ, wasn't he? To kind of, or was that Jay Briscoe?
Might have been Briscoe, I
Might
think.
have been Jay Briscoe, but just
You're trying
that
to test me on my Quizzlemania knowledge now, aren't you?
everything's a quiz to you, you monster. Like just going back and just like again, it's just when a promotion is so hot and its fans are so passionate, and like you're guaranteed like these amazing things. Like you see elements of kind of like the stuff that makes up AEW now in the kind of that period of Ring of Honor, not just because obviously, you know, Young Bucks and like the incredible work rate, but just uh, a sense of like the fans being like, this is still our precious secret. We are fueling it, you know, and just how violently enthusiastic the fans were back then.